even when you're in prison, Tommy, see when you were doing like, when you had all your Osmonds, threats to life, like, how were you treated in prison?
So the last case, I went to Belmarsh, no, so I've had some disastrous prison sentences. Where do we start? I lost my I was in Woodhill. I went to Woodhill for a mortgage fraud charge. So basically, when I started the English Defence League, this is what they do now with Tate. When I started the English Defence League, they come in. Yeah. When I say they come in, they closed your accounts, Dad. Your bank accounts got closed. Your business accounts. They went back 5 years on my mum, my dad, my whole family. Yeah. They went through everyone, and they were trying to find things to nick anyone on. So then they started raiding, nicking everyone. I got nicked on. They nicked my wife at the time. Tax evasion. They tried me on tax evasion. I got not guilty. They nicked mortgage fraud. So basically, the story was that. At the time, between me and my wife, we had 7 mortgages, all fully legit. Now, do you remember self-certification mortgages?
Yeah.
So they used to say if you put down a 20% deposit, you can then self-certify how much you earn. My wife's little brother said, and he was an apprentice for my company, plumbing, said he earned 20,000 when he earned 12. So he got a fraudulent mortgage in their eyes. He bought a house, he done the house up, it was his first property, and then he sold it. Yeah. 4 years after, so the house is sold, the mortgage company had paid back. 4 years later, they built all our doors off. I got 18 months for that. I got 18 months for him buying that house. And you know, so he bought the house for, say, 60 grand, yeah? Sells the house for bought the house for 80 grand, 20 grand deposit. Sells the house for 125 when it was all done up. The police hit me for £125,000 confiscation order. I had to pay him 125 grand. It's like, there was no crime. There was no financial loss to anyone. Yeah. But at that time, so I'm in for a little paper offence. I get 18 months and I end up in Woodhill Prison. And I ended up in Woodhill Prison there was a case just before that where 6 Muslims were sentenced to 30 years. They were caught with guns and bombs on the way to kill us. It was in Dewsbury. They got there 2 hours late. It's a comedy sketch. Yeah? So there's a video of these 6 clowns, beardy, weirdy, absolute morons, walking across a car park. And it's the car park that we were in 2 hours before, yeah? And then they're driving home and they've got no insurance. So then they get pulled over for no insurance. It's actually, you could actually do a proper comedy sketch. So they get pulled over for no insurance. Police don't search the boot of the car. The police seize the car, put it in a compound. 2 days later, the people in the compound open the boot of the car. Guns, suicide vests, bombs, IEDs, everything is in the boot, yeah? They're coming up to kill us. So then the police come to see me, let me know, look, they come to see me and said, people have been trying to track you through your mobile phone. So they must have had access into someone in the network who was trying to get a location for where I was, apparently, yeah? So that's what police come to see me about. I said, okay, so these 6 men are prosecuted. I go to their court trial. They're given 25 to 30 years. I stand up at the end of as they got their 25 to 30 years, I was there with my cousin Kev. So we're on the back row. They had about 17 people in front of us, all big religious figures, big beards. And then there's the 6 of them awaiting their sentencing. And it's funny because they were looking at porn and that, yeah? Because they're going through all the court. So I sat for the whole court case and they're not meant to be looking at porn. All this haram stuff was coming up on this one dude's phone and they're all his mates are laughing at that while they're on trial for this, what would have been it would have launched, I believe, if that happened at that time, when, at the height of the English Defence League, we'd have had a conflict on the streets and it would probably still be going. If 6 Muslims would have entered an English Defence League demonstration and murdered and blown up people, I believe it would become a tit for tat war that would have launched. So we're lucky that never happened at those times. But they get 30 years. I stand as they get sentenced. I say, I shout, I scream, God save the Queen. The whole court erupts. They're all coming at us from behind. The whole court erupts anyway. 6 months later, I'll do this mortgage case. I land in Woodhill Prison and I go for a meeting with my legal team and I sit down. I look across, boom, boom, boom. It's all them. I was just like, oh, bro, man. I was shitting myself. Well, I thought these are killers. They're doing 30 years. They're not bothered. They're terrorists. And this is in a Woodhill prison sentence where I had a prison officer come to my door, screw come to my door, and he said, when they come to get you, do not leave this cell. Ex-paratrooper he was. He said, do not leave this cell. I said, what? He said, your life depends on it. Don't leave this cell. I said, okay. So an hour later, however long later, he knocks on the door with 2 other screws. He said, come on, you're going on A-wing. I said, I ain't going nowhere, bruv. He said, he led me. If you refuse to go, you're going to get a nick in, you're going to be given. I said, okay, well, I'm refusing to go. He said, okay, well, you'll go before the governor then. So then I got penalised as they take your TV out of your cell and you get done. And then A-wing, where they were taking me, there's no cameras on the wing. They were taking me to where they were.
Why? To kill you?
Yeah, I'd have been killed. He said the woman, he gave me the woman's name who was making the decision. He said, she'll get done for corporal manslaughter here. Yeah. He goes, but too late, you're going to be dead. Yeah, you'd have been dead. So then this happens. So the next day, I go for a meeting with my legal team again. Yeah, because I'm going through, I was trying to do appeal. I go for a meeting with my legal team. I come back after the meeting, I'm getting walked down. There's a room the size of this lounge. Door opens, it's the waiting room. Door opens, so I just walk in, I see beards. So I was looking, thinking, oh, fucking hell, man. And I didn't even sit down because I just stood put my back to the wall. Prison officers locked the door and boom, I lost my teeth. I got battered. Even they all rushed me. There's 3 of them. The sickening thing, so when I landed on the first night centre, I didn't ever go on protection in jail. Yeah? So I landed on the first night centre and I come out and there's Muslims in there. I said, do you know who I am? This young Muslim. I said, I haven't got a problem with you, yeah? But if anyone wants to have a problem with me, I'm more than happy to have a straight up problem, yeah? I don't want those slimy shit. Or snaky shit. So I haven't got a problem with you. Let me make that clear. Yeah, but if you know who I am and you want, and there is a problem, just let me know. Yeah? He said, I've got no problem, brother. I said, okay, cool. Yeah, fucking. When I'm getting rushed in the cell, when I'm getting rushed in the waiting room, as I come round after, I'm swinging out, fighting, holding on to one of them. I get battered. As I come out, it's him. One of them's him. I said, you little rat, you little rat. But my teeth are missing. I'm battered, and then I'm. What felt like 10 minutes was probably 60 seconds. But I knew by the look on their faces as well. They didn't know I was coming in that room. So when they opened that door, I saw them look, and I thought, and I looked at them, and I saw them look like they're all looking at each other, thinking, Tom Robson's just getting put in our room. So they done what they done, and then I got shipped. So then I got put down the block. I see the governor, and then I got transferred to Winchester Prison. But each of my prison sentences, so that happened in Onley, that happened in Woodhill. And then I went down to Winchester Prison, and I had a great prison sentence in Winchester Prison. Do you know why? Because there's not enough Muslims in there to do anything, if I'm honest. And they didn't have the complete control of that jail. They have complete control of most jails. I went into Wood. There's an episode on 24 hours in police custody. I'm in Peterborough Prison. I'm on a 12-day licence recall. It was to prevent me stop talking at Oxford University. So I was due to talk at Oxford University. Police come and grab me, stuck me in jail on recall to miss the date. So I was on recall. And when I landed at Peterborough Prison, I said to them, you know who I am? I'm here. I'm out in 12 days. You know what's going to happen out there, yeah? I'm happy. Just lock my door. Let me out in a week. Let me out, yeah? And they said, oh, do you want to go on protection? I said, no, I don't want to go on protection. I'm not going on protection, yeah? Okay, you're going on B-Wing. So I said, all right, I'll go on B-Wing. And my instinct, I know I've done what I've had to do in previous prison centres. We'll get on to Bedford to survive, yeah? So I'm sitting there, I'll go on to B-Wing, and my instinct would be protect yourself straight away, yeah? Anyone comes near you, protect yourself. And I remember walking, I was going up the stairs, and I remember looking, there was a few Muslims on the wing. There was 4 Muslims from Bedford. They got 20 years, they cut someone's ears and nose off, like a famous thing near where I live. And my head was telling me boot him. That's what my head was telling me, yeah? And I was thinking, I'm out in 12 days, yeah? I just need to get through these 12 days. I don't need it any longer. So I didn't do anything. I just thought, get through the 12 days. And every time my cell door opened, I'd come out of my cell and I'd stand my back to the wall downstairs. So I'm thinking, I have to be ready. Someone's going to come for me at some point. I've got to be ready. And I can't get caught lacking in my cell because that's where they'll get you and you'll be gone. So then I come out, so my cell comes out, and no one has my back in there, yeah, because there's too many Muslims. So I come out, and on 24 hours in police custody, I'm standing there, and some white boy comes up to me, and he says, Tommy, you're going to get done with boiling water. Yeah? I said, who's going to do me with boiling water? And he says, he says whatever cell number. He says, look over, and I looked over, and there's a Somalian kid, and there's the boy from Bedford, yeah? And they're talking at the door of another cell. And he goes, mate, the amount of money they've put up for you to get done, it might not even be a Muslim that does you. I said, all right. And he goes, but the Somalian kid's going to do you with the boiling water. So I said, all right, sound. So I walk straight over and fill the Somalian kid in. Before he has a chance to even look, I said, which one? And he says, him at the door. So I said, okay. So I go over and I fill him in. And then all the screws break it up. And then I go before the governor and I say, mate, he's going to do me boiling water. I'm not waiting to get boiling. They put in jail, you know, they get boiling water, you put sugar in it, sticks to your face, you're gone. Your face is gone. I'm not waiting for that. Yeah. So I go over, I fill him in. And when I fill him in, you can see me on the footage, and I've got my arms open, and the imam's there, yeah. I've got my arms open. And what I was saying, I said, is there anyone else who wants to do it? So, but then I get nicked. Then I get nicked in the jail. Go before the governor and I say, mate, I told you lot, when I landed in this jail, I told you my life's in danger. You decided to stick me on a wing full of Muslims who were up for 25 years in that year. You decided that. They wanted to do me a boiling water. I protected myself. So nothing happened in jail. I come out of jail. I go on holiday with my kids for 2 weeks. I land at Luton Airport. I'm nicked for a racially aggravated attack in jail. And then I stand Crown Court trial. But they were forced. This was the first time I ever had good legal representation. So I got not guilty. They were forced, but my defence forced the prosecution to basically pull their case, because when they went through all the stuff, it showed from the records from when I got to the jail what I'd said, but they didn't release it to my prosecution or something. So they were hiding the fact that the prison knew I was in danger. They knew I shouldn't be where I was. They put me there. Yeah. Anyway, so that was Peterborough. Where else have I been? Bedford. I mean, like when I got to Bedford prison, but you know, rival gangs.
Yeah.
When they've got a rival gang from a different postcode, you're not allowed to be on the same wing in jail. Yeah. You've got Tommy Robinson, right? Who's the rival gang? It's Islam. It's all followers of Islam. So I land at Bedford Prison. It's my local jail. I forget what I was doing on this case. I've been in 10 prisons, and when because of this politics, and when I landed there, I looked at the receptionist. Said, "You got a brother called Mark?" And he said, "Yeah." I knew his brother. I knew straight away from the face because my local jail. I said, "I know your brother." He goes, "Yeah, I know." I said, "Mate, find out." And then we were going through where the most Muslims are. Most Muslims are on A wing. It's the biggest wing in Bedford. And you usually go straight on induction wing when you go to that prison. And I was asking, mate, I said, "Is Jason in here? Is Johnny in here?" I was asking mates I've grown up with, finding out where I've got friends to try and get with some of them. So we established some of my friends are on B wing. There was a few Muslims. There was another case where there was a big case where they got shot dead in Milton Keynes, all Somalian gangs. And they were all in on A wing. So he comes back and then he goes, I've got to go up and see the governor. So he comes downstairs. He goes, "Sorry, Tommy, man." I said, "What?" He said, "You're going on A wing, or you can go on the numbers."
Protection.
I said, "I'm not going on the numbers, bruv." I said, I have done nothing wrong to go and be housed with paedophiles. It's not happening. He goes, "Yeah, you're going on A wing then." And so I think they were thinking I'd choose the numbers. So I said, "Give me a pen and paper." So he gives me a pen and paper. So I write 6 pages detailing the threats I've had from terrorist groups, from Osman warnings, the gangs that are in there locally to me. I know the names of the gangs, the Pakistani gangs. I list it all. I say, "Your job is to keep me safe as a governor of this jail. Yeah, you have a duty to keep me safe. You know these people will want to cause me harm." So I think he's going to read that. Now that's on file. Yeah, he's never going to make me go on A wing. So I'm sitting there. He comes back down. He goes, "You're going on A wing." I said, "All right, that's sound." And as we're walking onto A wing, I said, "Are you ready, boys?" To the 2 screws. And he goes, "What?" I goes, "Watch what I fucking do when I get on here, man." And then we're walking on. And as I walked on, I mean, you know, like you're walking on, you've got all the landings. And they're all howling, cheering. Yeah. As I'm walking in. And and I'll be honest, I'm shitting myself. Yeah. I'm thinking, fuck, man. Like I didn't think they'd be able to do this, yeah, in my local jail, just bring me to them. So they bring me up, it's 10 to 12, they put me in my cell, lunch is at 12 o'clock. So the workers are obviously out. The prisoners who have got jobs are obviously all out. The word's gone round. I go straight to my cell window and I said, "Your fucking paedophile would be on the D wing." The D wing's the paedophile ring, yeah? So I said, and I start giving it through the windows because I know I'm doing a protection mechanism here because I can't wait for them to get me in my cell. So I go up and I'm arguing with everyone and they say, "You're dead." I said, "I've heard that for 6 years. I've had 2 black eyes, you shit houses, yeah?" I said, "Everyone agrees with me because everyone, you're bullies. Everyone agrees with me." I said, "All the white and black boys will come to my cell and they give me thumbs up because this happens in every jail, yeah? They'll all secretly give me the thumbs up. Because you lot are fucking bullies. The way you act in these jails, and I'm having all this through the windows, and they were like, 'You're dead, you're dead.' And I remember hearing some black dude was laughing, saying, 'Who the fuck is this geezer?' And I was like, "I'm on the wing, you mugs, yeah. I'm on A." And then I know when that door opens, I'm getting out of that wing. I'm getting out of that cell. So the door opens for lunch. I go flying out of the cell. I go straight down into canteen. I walk in. I say, "Who's fucking Muslim?" Yeah, and Dion, a little gangbanger from Luton, who I got a lot of respect for his brother. I knew his sister. I actually like him. He's converted to Islam, so he's like, "I'm Muslim, bruv." I'm like, "Oh man," and I'm needing to kick this off because otherwise I'm getting it. Yeah, so I'm like, "Dion," and then a white boy next to him goes, "Yeah, I'm fucking Muslim," and I don't know the white boy, so boom, I'm grabbed him. I'm fighting with him. all the screws have come, broke it up. I'm in such an adrenaline rush. But then, as they pulled me out, I see another black boy, Wesley Barker. He's got a big beard. I said, "You, bruv," and I know it. He goes, "Actually, man, I'm not," because I'm thinking everyone's Muslim now, and everyone's on me. And then they dragged me up to the cell, and I'm drenched in it's the biggest adrenaline rush. That moment was, and they put me in my cell, and they locked the door, and I remember just screaming, because I thought I was dead. I thought I was dead, and then I was screaming. But in that moment, in that time, that's a fight for my life, because if that doesn't happen, when that happens, I'm down. So then I get nicked, and you get a punishment. You're in isolation. So yeah, I done that to get isolated. Yeah, I had to. I'm not asking for protection, but when you do that, you get put on 23 and a half hour bang up in the basement of the jail. So I'm then taken down to the basement of the jail. But before that, I'm shouting out the windows like because I was like, I thought I was dead, lads. And I get locked. Then I'm down in the basement of the jail, and then they bring McDonald. The boy's name was McDonald. I didn't know who he was. When I hit him, he had a big beard. And as he comes through, he's in the cell next to me. And then they brought my other mate, who I know from outside. He's in the cell next to me because he smashed up his cell before court or something. So we're all talking in the cells. And then this Muslim lad's trying to quash it, going, "You actually, man, like, fucking what the fuck?" And I'm like, "Why are you trying to quash it?" And as they brought him out, I looked through, I said, "McDonald." Like, I knew him and his brother. I said, "You motherfucker, man." He goes, "You actually," and I said, "You converted." And he's like, and then he was trying to quash it because he knows who I am. I know him. He knows when I get out. I'll know him. I move in the same circles as him. And he was like, "What the fuck, bruv?" I said, "Bruv, I've got to survive this, man. I've got to." And then the priest come in and started on me. The priest literally started on me.
What did he do?
The priest come in and goes, "I think you're fucking clever." I went, "You what?" And because I refused food again, I said, "I'm not eating anything that's halal. So yeah, I want chicken that's on the menu, but I want non-halal chicken." Just being a little prick, I was, yeah. But I said, "I want non-halal chicken. So get me some non-halal chicken." And then they can't get you non-halal chicken. I said, "Well, how come I don't get a choice?" And I'm just, by this point, I think, yeah, I'm going to cause mayhem in here now. Yeah, I'm going to cause mayhem. And I'm arguing, and all the travellers are on my side. And they're going, "Yeah, what are you?" And I say, "Catholic," because I know what's coming. Yeah, fucking paedophiles. And I can hear the travellers going, "Well, what?" And so the whole place is erupting, man. I'm thinking, what are they going to do? Yeah, because the whole jail's erupting now. It's all going. And then my mate comes back and my mate's shouting from the cells upstairs saying, "I've got his back," and all hell's going off. The priest comes in and says, "You think you're clever, don't you? I know what you've done." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You've done this to get down here." I said, "Yeah, of course I fucking have. What do you mean?" But he literally, the attitude he had with me, I said, "How many people are you actually listen to you? Because everyone in here is converting, bruv." I just got really wound up. It was a local priest. And then I thought, what are they going to do? Well, how are they going to deal with this? And at about 6 o'clock in the morning, the next morning, they come in, security. I got ACAD to Woodhill.
Did you ever think they would poison your food or anything?
Yeah, I didn't eat, did I? So when I went to Onley, into Onley prison, I got arrested for the contempt charge in Hull, which were in Leeds, where I asked a Muslim, "How you feeling about your verdict?" on his way into court. They took me in on the contempt charge. They put me in Hull prison, where there's not many Muslims. I was fine. They put me on the healthcare wing. So I refused protection. They put me on the healthcare wing. So I'm on the hospital wing. People who are in there for hospital. So I was sound. I was probably in there for about 10 days. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, this is all right. Yeah, I'm safe. There's no risk. I can deal with this. This is all right. And then, because every other jail, I've had to fight my way through it. So I thought, I'm safe. And then they come in the morning and they said, "You're getting transferred." I said, "Where?" They goes, "We can't tell you. We'll tell you when you get in the car." So then I'm thinking, am I going to kick off? So I'm thinking, well, if you sorted something out for me, no, you're not just going to transfer me. Have you sorted something out? And they said, "Yeah, it's all been sorted. You get transferred." So I get in the car. So where am I going? They said, "Onley." I said, "Onley?" And Onley's got the highest percent of Muslims of any CCAT prison in the country, yeah? So as I'm on the way there, I'm thinking, well, something's got to be sorted, man. They must have some unit in Onley that I'm going to go to in Onley. So I land in Onley. And I go before the governor and he goes, "Well, I think you know what's going to happen here, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, I do." "Well, you do, didn't you?" He goes, "Well, you're going to be in danger, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You're going to have to isolate yourself then, aren't you?" I said, "What do you mean isolate myself?" "Well, you're going to have to self-isolate, which means you're going to have to want your door locked all the time." And I'm such a... And maybe I should have just said, "Yeah." Right? But I said, "No." I said, "Where are you putting me?" And he said, "We're putting you on this wing." I said, "Well, you open the door and coming out of it." And then he goes, "We're going to get hurt." I goes, "Someone's going to get hurt." Yeah? I said, "But you brought me here. Yeah? I was fine where I just was. You've brought me here." So then he goes, well, you're going down the block. I said, what am I going down the block for? So the block's where you go for punishment. Down the block, you're on 23.5-hour lockup. You've got a little blue mat, that's it. And there's no TV, there's no electric in there. It's where people go, stab people, do mad things in jail, you end up down the block. So he said, you're going down the block. So I think, what the fuck am I going down the block for? I haven't done anything wrong here. Yeah? You've brought me here. You're asking if I'll self-isolate. I'm saying no. Yeah? Why would I self-isolate myself? Lock myself up for, like, if the door opens, I'm coming out of it. Yeah? Give me a job. Do what everyone else does. You brought me here. Yeah? And you can deal with the problems that come from it. So then he puts me down the block. I'm taken down the block. So I'm in the blocks, and then I say, well, I ain't eating or drinking, yeah, at all. And the reason being that my food would come to me in a little box and it says Yaxley Lennon on it, yeah. So the lads that deliver the food, or the people working the servery, the best job in jail is servery. The Muslims run the jail. They've got all the best jobs. They control everything. So my food's getting delivered to me, Yaxley Lennon. You can get anything you want in jail, smuggled in, yeah? Anything you want. It wouldn't be hard to get rat poison. It wouldn't be hard to poison my food. So I sit there and think, well, but the reason was the World Cup starting in a week. I wasn't there for the World Cup. I ain't got a TV. All I was thinking is, well, I'm in jail. Get a TV. I'll watch the World Cup. Yeah. So he puts me down the block in Onley, and I say, well, I ain't eating or drinking until you give me a TV. He said, we can't have a TV. There's no sockets in here. I said, I didn't put me here. You put me here. Why am I being punished for no TV? So this is going on. So I say, I'm not eating or drinking at all. Yeah. And then I'm talking to the other lads in the cells, and this is where it gets so sad. You've got prison governor on next, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Ask him about spice, yeah? So this boy in the cell next door, and you get 30 minutes a day. So my 30 minutes, I'd come out of my cell, I'd get put out, and there's like a courtyard. There's all the cells, and they all look in on this courtyard, and I'd literally preach. I think the first day I walked out, I said, Islam is the cancer, I am the cure. Yeah, and it's my half hour. So, and then I'll be debating, and in the end, becoming friendly with some of the Muslim lads, having a laugh with them in the thing, yeah. But saying, lads, ask your imam this, ask your imam that. I'll be going through and dissecting all the stuff. So when the imam would come, they'd obviously be asking him about the age of Aisha, stuff they don't tell you when you convert. I said, oh, they just convert you. You don't even know what you converted to. Then the imam come, he goes, can you stop, please, Tommy? Stop. I said, stop what? Tell them the truth. Stop educating them. No, I won't stop. I won't stop. But I refuse to eat. But what they didn't know, so every time the food comes to my door, I said, fuck off. I'm not eating that, yeah? I'm not eating anything. Don't bring me any food. Don't bring me any drink. I'm not eating, yeah? And I'm going to end up collapsing. And when I collapse, I'm going to end up in hospital. And then it's on your prison, yeah? Because you've done this to me, yeah? Blah, blah, blah. But the lad next door, this boy's next door, he's been down there 2 months. And what he's done is, he's getting out in about 8 weeks. But he's hooked on spice. He come into jail, not a drug addict. Now he's a drug addict. And he's cancelled all his visits because he don't want anyone to see him in the state he is. So he smashed up his cell so he can get isolated so that he's not near drugs. This is what the kids had to do. He's sitting on 23.5-hour bang up on a blue mat with nothing, voluntarily. Yeah, he don't want to come out of that room because when he gets freed in 8 weeks, he wants to be a bit normal. He doesn't want to be hooked on drugs. This is what he's done. So he's in there. I'm talking to him, the boy next door, and we have a shower at the same time. So I'd go in the shower and he'd pass me under his cereal. He'd pass me under his apple, yeah? So I would be eating, but the prison don't think I'm eating anything, yeah? So I'm in there and I'm getting my stuff. And each day I'm going back. And then on the 7th day, he calls me in. The governor calls me in. He goes, right, sign this. I said, what's this? And it was saying that you will be relocated on the wing, but you will not be allowed out of your cell. You will still be taken down to... And it was that I was doing it voluntary. I said... No, I'm not signing that. Yeah, I'm not doing this. Yeah, you fucking done this. All right. So put me back in the cell, and then they take me back in the cell, and then 10 minutes later they bring me back in. They said, "Okay, we've reworded it. We are forcing you. Yeah, but we're going to put you on the wing with a TV. Yeah, will you eat if we give you if this happens?" So I'm looking, thinking England are playing tonight. Yeah. So I said, "What time? When is this? If I sign this, when is this going to happen? Is it going to happen before the football?" He said, yes, it's going to happen before the football. I said, I fucking signed it. So he signed it. Then what they done is, so bearing in mind, my missus worked at a school at the time. So I'm in Onley prison. So I've done a week laying in this shitty cell. They then bring me up on the wing. But the deal is I'm not allowed out, so the cell's locked. So I'm on the wing, cell's locked, so people can come to my cell. I'm getting shit, like literally human shit, feces put through my window. I've got them all at my window kicking off. I'm thinking... I was fine in Hull. Who made this decision to bring me here? And what was the fucking purpose of it? Yeah. And I thought, so, and I still wouldn't eat the meals until I got my money. So I got my money on my canteen. and I bought tuna. So I could afford 7 tins of tuna for the week. Yeah. So that's all I had. I had 1 tin of tuna a day. That was it. And then water. That's why I lost 30 pounds. I come out looking like a crackhead. Yeah. But I was, and I was in there and for half hour a day, they'd bring me down from there. They'd bring me down to the block again for my exercise. That's where I'd have my exercise. That's where I'd have my shower. And that's when I could have my phone call, which was at lunchtime during the day. My kids are at school and my wife works at a school. So I literally couldn't ring anyone, couldn't speak to anyone. I mean, 23 and a half hour bang up. They knocked on my door. Then the screws come to my door one time and said, "Where's your wife?" I'm laying in this cell. I'm like, "What?" And they said, "Where's your wife?" I said, "How the fuck am I meant to know where my wife is? Yeah? I'm banged up in here. I don't even get to use the phone at night." So they said, "Okay, well, there's intelligence that your wife's going to be attacked with acid." I'm like, "What?" And they said, "Yeah, we need to know where she is." And then they just shut the door. I'm like, "Bruv." Like, it was waiting until Saturday, then I get to ring my wife, and the police have knocked on her door, and they've given her intel, and my mum's, that there's going to be an acid attack against them. And then what they leave them with is some little bit of paperwork that tells them what to do if you're attacked with acid. But then the deep thing is, and I question, was there that plan to do that to my wife? Or was that all to fry my head? Because it worked. I come out of that prison, you can watch there's a video where I come out, and I watched one recently of that night I went on Tucker Carlson. I was ill. I was sick, seriously sick. Like, I was a mess. It took me, it still probably is taking it. It took its toll on me, that sentence.